Welcome back to the Cross Creek Cut. Today we're going to discuss infurrow. So infurrow primarily on corn acres. So we've actually been doing infurrow on corn since 2015. We've got data all the way back to 2018. But what's interesting is there's many different programs out there in the world of ag and many different competitive programs of ours that actually have great results for infurrow on corn. But we want to talk specifically about our infurrow program and what we've seen and why we've developed our infurrow program for you guys to be more successful and have higher ROIs. So what do we actually put in there, and why do we put things in our infurrow program together in certain intervals or rates, or why do we have even two programs if you look at within our system? One is just budgeting. We have one program that we consider a high yield program that has been for many years able to produce those kind of high yield ROIs. And yes, does it cost a few dollars more, from $6 to $8 more an acre? Sure it does. Then we have another one that's obviously less, that is bringing a little bit less budgeted, but still brings a healthy ROI. Dating back to 2021, we decided, what if we pair these two programs against each other and see which one wins over a 3-year time period? You guys have seen in our 21 data and our also 2022 data which one was winning, which was program 1, which, full disclosure, what that is, that's 3 gallons of ignition, which is our NPK, our 923, formulated at a specific pH for you guys. Getting a lower pH in that and a low salt NPK blend is very important to, one, what we're putting in there from a nutrient load to be able to be more available to the plant, and also what it does within the soil and also soil pH. Next thing that's in there is Accelerate. Accelerate is a product that basically is the food source and delivers sugar alcohols and delivers things like lignin polymers and anything that you want, that we're able to build that plant's ability to take up nutrients and ward off a little bit of stress that happens in there. The next part is Rev Up. Rev Up is a biological that we put in the infurrow system. Rev Up is really based out of seaweed kelp extracts, enzymes, amino acids, and other vitamins and minerals to be able to get that enzymatic effect to actually increase root growth and root and shoot growth at a really rapid rate. I will tell you, when you put Accelerate and Rev Up together, your roots under the ground, they look like Christmas trees. They just take off and explode, massive than you've ever seen before. And then the other base of that is Nano Zinc, 9%. And then we also have our inoculant, which is Micro AZ. Micro AZ is an azospirillum inoculant, and we use the Micro AZ, the Nano Zinc, and the Ignition as our baseline for all of our testing. What we test in program 1 is the Accelerate Rev Up versus program 2. Program 2 has Start Right 2.0 and Nanozyme 2.0, 2 products that have been PFR proven for over 4 years now. Both bring great product lines, both bring great ROIs. So let's take a look at the data and we'll see which one's winning over 3 years. If you look at the data, we go all the way back to 2021, 22, and forward into 23. 23 was the first year that actually program 2, the Start Right Nanozyme, had out-yielded and out-ROI'd the Accelerate Rev Up. But if you look at the 3-year data set, over many different acres, there's probably over 6,000 acres in this data set, you look at that over that 3-year time period, the difference is $9.83 an acre in ROI, roughly around 4 bushel. So, in conclusion of that, why are we doing this and why are we recommending program 1 for you? We still like program 2. If you're on that and it works for you guys, we're there with you. That's great. Program 1 is what we use on our farm as a standard, and we feel like what we gain with the additional benefits of Accelerate and Rev Up are just some things that we get from plant health, stressability, and just overall nutrient load we're putting there to let that plant be able to pick up faster what we gain from the infurrow plus what we do in our 2x2x2. We want to be able to pick up that nitrate load, that sulfur load. We want to be able to get the ability to make sure we pull all those nutrients into one, and we actually push that plant to be able to have less stress and more ability to be able to ward off those challenges and a lot of the issues we have with disease pressure and other stresses that happen throughout the year. Interesting enough, if you take a look at the data on page 7 of our 2023 book, we actually looked at what would happen if we added just more water to the solution. Our standard rate's been 5 gallons per acre the entire time we did the study from 2021, 22, and 23. So in 23, we said, what happened if we added 2 more gallons to the solution? Purely just adding water. Water's cheap, it's free, right? So we added it to it. What's interesting is on page 7, we took it from 5 to 7 gallons. We picked up an additional $12 an acre ROI. On the Infurrow study, we were actually comparing both program 1 and program 2. We had a little room left in that field. We said, what if we make a couple rounds at 7 gallon and compare it to the 5 gallon rate? As you can see, it did. It picked up $12 an acre ROI. So we took it to the next field and said, we're on to something here. Let's just see what happens. We added that again, went to 7 gallons versus 5, compared them in that field as well and replicated it. We picked up an additional $46.46 an acre ROI. More to come on this. I don't have a whole lot of answers, and we're trying to study this to figure out what are we gaining by just adding water with our infurrow. We got a couple hunches of what's happening. Possibly could be more striation and better stratification of the nutrients within the row. The other thing is, are we maybe creating maybe a little bit more of a pre-germ situation by adding that much more water in furrow and allowing that water to get a really good healthy drink of water in the first 24 hours of its life, in turn possibly creating that yield benefit in the ROI. But we'll find out over time. We're going to keep this steady for 24 and probably into 25 and figure out, can we go from 5 gallon to 7 gallon to 9 gallon, maybe even 11 gallon in the infurrow, and what are we going to gain by it? We don't know yet, but if you guys stay with us, we're sure to tell you guys in the next couple of years. And I bet you this year we'll be able to take a look at it in the field here in a couple of months as we do it. We'll take a look at the plants that are out there as they're growing. We'll come back and we'll give you some reports on those videos. So y'all stay with us, and I appreciate your time and look forward to talking to you more.